A great and a beautiful morning to you viewers watching from all over the Nigeria and of course all over the world, wherever or whatever medium you're watching us with this morning. My name is Tomisi and it's a pleasure being here with you again Monday morning on the Bumper Breakfast. How are you all? Hope you woke up on the right side of your mind and hope you've gotten ready to hit the ground running with work this morning. It's an exciting Tuesday morning and of course quite a number of things have happened across Nigeria, across the world as we speak, and I'm quite excited and we'll be quite glad to have feedback from you when we discuss some of these issues this morning. And our guest this beautiful morning is right here in the studio. But just before I introduce him and ask how he's been doing, let's take a look at the front page of the papers and show you exactly what happened in the last couple of hours. The Punch newspaper is where I want to begin from this morning. The New Year celebrations, experts project high infection rate as Nigerians shun protocols at fun spots. Uncontrolled crowd at beaches, others to fuel community transmission. Experts warn recovery rate drops by 73.2%. NCDC distributes 400,000 COVID-19 testing kits. Lagos train service will begin this year. Sanwo-Olu is talking. Police go after revelers behind attack of Tenny in Rivers community. APC tackles Shehu Sani over governor's bid and calls ex-senator idle blogger. Last month, thug brutalized driver impound bus. Last month, thugs brutalized driver impound the bus and agency ignores the driver's petition. 8 dead, 17 injured in Ogun Akwa Ibom crashes. FRSC blames speeding others. Men exchange blows. Arrested as a hired killer failed to eliminate pregnant ex-wife. And Sanwo-Olu Wike others mourn Olubadan, hail monarch for contributions. Buhari others mourn Tofa as MKO Abiola's presidential poll opponent dies at 74. Why Jonathan must support Igbo presidency in 2023, Ohaneze is talking. Customs immigration, 13 others fail to remit 127 billion naira audit reports. That's coming from the Minister of Finance. Nigeria's debt vulnerable, costly alerts World Bank. Sustained bombings force terrorists to surrender, ACF tells the military. CBN SEC others to lift our financial sector with fresh 1.54 trillion naira investment. Still taking a look at some of the stories in the papers, we move to the Nation newspaper next. And the Nation newspaper banner headline is all about Olubadan. Ibadan chiefs disagree over succession. Ladoja's lawyer says Balogun not qualified. And kingmakers to follow traditional guidelines. Okay, interesting things seem to be happening in Ibadan in recent times. This is one of the clearest things that should happen, but you know, people would always be people. Ban Twitter meets conditions. Buhari awaits panel's report. Report me to EFCC. Akeredolu dares the PDP. Olajengbesi, not Igboho's lawyer, says the senior advocate of Nigeria. All right, name prosecute terror sponsors. Ndume tells the federal government. Buhari governors, ACF others mourn Tofa. OPEC worried over threats to release 70 MB from reserves. And you have a man held for planning with friend to kill expectant wife. A man they held. You know, the story said quite clearly in the Punch newspaper, a bit more clearer. Men exchange blows and they are arrested as a hired killer fails to eliminate the pregnant ex-wife. But this one says a man held for planning with his friend to kill his expectant wife. Lagos Red-Blue Rail Line project still on course. DBN 6 stakeholders nod to raise 100 billion naira bond. Buhari governors ACF Mon Tofa. Those are stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper. Legal huddle clouds Olubadan succession. Lekan Balogun not qualified to be Olubadan. Ex-Oyo AG writes, Ladoja absent as by the chiefs hold meeting at Balogun's house. Elevation of high chiefs to Oba doesn't alter by the succession process, says Olubadan in council. Interesting things happening. All right. Labour unions strategize ahead of proposed fuel subsidy removal. IPOB bans Nigerian anthem in Southeast schools. Use of cows at ceremonies. Tension in Imo as Uzodinma uncovers alleged sponsors of insecurity. Tributes pouring as Tofa dies at 74. And you have this one, the Nigerian Tribune governors to watch in 2022. There is a picture story of the Nigerian Tribune, shows you the picture. First beginning with my dearest Northern Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum. I want to be from Borno State. One of the, I love Governor Nasir El-Rufai a lot, but I would not mind, being associated with Professor Babagana Zulum. I would like to accept him as my governor. All right, Professor Zulum, Engineer Seyi Makinde, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Engineer Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. You have Ifeanyi Okowa, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State, Aminu Tambuwal, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto. You have Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, Bala Mohammed, Dapo Abiodun, Prince Dapo Abiodun of I think there should be Ogun State, I'm correct. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, Umar Ganduje of Kano State, Yaya Bello of Kogi State. You have, of course, Mai Malabuni of Yobe State, Atiku Bagudu Bochi, and you have Bello Masari of Katsina State. All right, governors to watch, page 28 and 29 tells you more. You want to find out why exactly they want you to watch these governors, you just pick up the Nigerian Tribune. Ibadan High Chiefs meet Lekan Balogun, endorse him as the next Olubadan. More tributes for late Oba Adetunji, with all the approval of any High Chief to become Olubadan. Ex or your AJ writes Makinde. Bride to be kidnapped, hours to wedding in Plateau. Bride to be kidnapped, hours to the wedding in Plateau State. Be alive to your responsibilities. Zamfara is on fire. PDP tells Bello Matawale, the governor. Now, 2023, Nigeria not mature for direct primaries. IPAC is talking. Olaji Ngbesi was never Igbo's counsel. Lacks words to speak for him. That's coming from Senior Advocate of Nigeria. APC Convention Governors Forum DG faults Kalu's cause for postponement. Cushions Buni's committee says it's a plot to destabilize the party. Former NRC presidential candidate MKO Abiola opponent Bashir Tofa dies at 74 and he was buried yesterday. Impact of cash crunch on economy worse than COVID-19, coming from Professor Afe Babalola. An expert set an agenda for economic growth and development. All right. Those are the stories that made the front page of the papers this morning. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after now.
This is your radio. This is your radio.
Star FM 101.5 gives you the best of music, news, talk, entertainment, and sports like never before. We give you incisive news every hour, quality music, and sports all day round. Listen to the most entertaining, creative morning show on radio as Star FM gives you top newspaper review, headlines about politics, business, crime, events, and entertainment stories between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. Our midday show gives you classic, up-tempo, and contemporary urban music to start your day and get you energized. Between 10 to 12 noon daily, we serve it fresh. Now, take your lunch with us on Launch Our Show between 12 noon and 2 p.m. as we pack you with good mix of music loaded with interactive live chart, comedy, game shows, and current events. Our Word of Sports on Star FM comes on daily at the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour, and 10 o'clock hour. Daily on Star. Our Evening Belt showcase a mix of urban music, oldies laced with big jokes, talent hunt shows, and relationships. You don't want to miss is the PM Crew. and round up your day with us on Body and Soul, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with the very best of rhythm and blues, cool music to take you to Wonderland. Join us daily as we give you the very best of music, news, sports, talk, and all-round entertainment. Star FM 101.5, entertaining you all the time. Star FM, your favorite radio station. Star FM on DSTV 869.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Yes, our guest this morning, Olayinka Oladaniels, first time seeing him this year, is joining me in my color this morning. I think we did the meeting in the middle of the night that we're going to be white today. There's just something about Nigeria, and we want to bring peace and purity to our environment, and let's just bring some measure of sanity as well with our colors. But it's even much more complete. He's wearing the green cap and the white. So good morning. Good to have you. Happy New Year. Officially, not on phone now. Happy New Year. Good to have you again. 2022. I hope you're as excited as we are. There's this thing in the air. People are not talking so much about COVID. You've not heard?
Yeah, well, they're still talking about it.
No, I'm just saying, last year, before you say 1, 2, 3, somebody had COVID.
Okay.
All we've been hearing this year is somebody died. I'm just glad that the people who have died so far, at least the ones I know, are advanced in age.
Very well.
So, I think that's the part that should give us some respite. But let's talk about the stories in the papers this morning. Let's begin. As tributes pouring for the man who contested against Moshood Abiola Kashimawo, the late Moshood Abiola Kashimawo, in the 1993 general elections. He was the flag bearer of the national NRC. What's
NRC,
the National? Is it Revolution or Renaissance Party? SDP, NRC. He was the flag bearer of the NRC in that election. And I will get it. We'll definitely get it. And he goes home. They call it going home. National Republican Convention. Okay. Yes. He was the flag bearer. He died at the age of 74. And let's talk about Tofa, first of all. President Muhammadu Buhari called him a symbol of Islamic culture and civilization. And I looked at it and said, that doesn't sound so national. What do you think?
Well, maybe that's what President Buhari
knew about
him. So he can't say what he doesn't know.
And that's a really deep message.
Yeah, well, that's the part about him and what he does. Because the truth is, in those days, some of us believe that Tofa had no business, in the politics then, and he had no because we know how Tofa came to existence. Then Tofa was brought in. They had to look for someone to contest against the MKO then, and even at that time, it was glaring that his people were not in support. I remember he went to campaign somewhere around his people, and he was stoned. He was stoned out. He could not even stay there. So that's to tell you politically, because what I hear, is wonderful when people die. You hear all sorts. Well, maybe things we do not know. People say, yes, it's a democratic, whatever. You build something, demand. I'm like, hello. at least we're younger, but we saw things ourselves. So maybe for generation that were not around then, I don't know, but we were around, we saw it. So, but for the part in which Mr. President had, spoke about him, fine. I mean, I don't know much about that. Well, maybe he is. He's been there ever since, been quiet and doing the little he could do in his own, zone. Yeah. So far, maybe, probably it's not from this side, or I don't hear much about him. But on the northern part, maybe he does that. And
interestingly, he was 50 years old when he contested for that election. And I looked at the age of all our contestants so far. It was 50, and he was vying for the position of president.
Yes.
That's almost young, don't you think?
Of course. Yeah.
That's almost young.
Well, how old was Abiola also when he was vying for the position as president? And we have said that over time, that most of it, in those days, all those people were young. They were younger people. Some of them were in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s. And today, we ask, what has happened to us? Where are the
He was
younger
even
ones?
younger. He was 45.
Oh.
So he was a 45-year-old man and was vying for the position of a president of a country.
So
Where did we now get the idea that 45 cannot, because there is this general acceptance in the air, maybe among politicians, that people who are not above the age of 55, 60 should not even go near the idea of presidency. It's just, it feels like that.
Okay, it feels like that because there's nothing that says...
No, the law doesn't say that. But I just, when I say feels like that, I'm just wondering, when everybody puts forward their candidates,
I don't know, I think...
why
it's
are they
beyond
always
that.
above the age of 55?
He's not, you see, he's beyond that. What has happened over time? We have people that also were younger, in the days of Bola Tinubu and the likes of them, and the MKOs, in those days, they were younger, the Buharis and the Gowons and all that. At that time, there were people on ground.
They were young.
They were young. Because don't forget that we're just coming up. Not too long, we had independence, thereabouts. There was an interruption from the military, and somehow, God helped us, and we started, the civil rule, sorry, I don't call it democratic rule, civil rule. And so far, the same set of people
Are still there.
that we've been, that's the problem. We, as a people, particularly we, the younger ones, maybe I would say we are not patriotic enough, or we feel that, please, we're not interested. You know why? There were people.
So you're saying that we didn't join when they joined?
That's not my point. Those people, as at the time they were head, or they were that, they were there, whatever they were older people.
True.
They were older people. Also, they were elder statesmen.
Okay.
But they were not the one running shows.
Yes.
So the category of people that were running shows were the younger ones at that time. So what happened to that shift? If they could do that, so what happened to us?
Is it
Because these
positioning?
people, like Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo made a statement at some point. He said, "Look, youth, these people are not going to give you the power. You will take it." So, meaning that they took it from the elders, they took it from the older people in their time. But we, so sorry when they then call us lazy people or something. I don't know right now because because looking at it, we are not still. You know why? Because they had so polarized the old system to the extent that what we run is called mediocrity system.
Okay.
Where you have a social hierarchy That means a group of people in the social hierarchy that they are the one running the show. And to them, anything outside that caucus will not be welcome. That is why you will see them even at their 70s and their 80s, they still want to be. In fact, some will even reduce their age just that we don't say, so that we don't come to say, no, we can't have a 80-something or 90-something, whatever. So these people over time, they've looked at us, and what they do to us, they give us carrots. You know, stick and carrot, they dangle the carrot, and they just throw that at us. And what do? Then we take back seat. All we do is to make noise. All we do is to sit back. All we do is to go on social media. And in fact, they had even done it to the extent that what we do now, our own is about money. Our generations, the youths and all that. Because even the so-called youth we have today that are in that same polities are there for a reason, for a motive. They allure them into their own way of life. Now, what they do, if you have a younger, Yaya Bello, not what's his age?
40.
One of us, we have people around like that. By the time you check, you wonder. So, if we're asking for this, now the ones we even have,
What are they doing?
what are they doing? So, are they different from our fathers? Are they different from these people? Those people, they were not just in charge of government. They were effective. You could see what they were doing at their prime age. Gowon was how old? Maybe 30, early 30s. We had a lot of them. How old was Zeke? How old was Awolowo in those days? So all these people were young. But what has become of us? Because by the time these people keep going on and on, by the time I am coming to say, okay, maybe the day they will give me a chance to even come in, maybe I'm already 50 or I'm already going 55. So,
But at least you'll still be relatively young.
hopefully, but so
You'll still be relatively young.
Really,
Nigerians want a youth as Nigerian youth want a younger person as a president, and I keep asking the question: why do we all clamor for the position of presidency? What happened to other positions? Did they disappear suddenly, fizzle into the thin air, do not matter? Is it that we are so concerned, or we feel that it is only the president's position that will do everything? What happens to going to the Senate? What happens to going to the House of Representatives? What happens to going to the House of Assembly? What happens to going for, positioning yourself, in political parties, so that when they are appointing commissioners and ministers, you will get, young people there, because even the crop of people we appoint are still in the same age group.
Sorry, I always like to correct impression on the age group or youth and all that. I'm sorry, I stand corrected, but I belong to the school of thought that says I'm not really particular about that age. I'm saying this based on what I have seen.
So it really, for you, it doesn't matter if the president is an elder statesman.
I want a younger person, but the question you ask me is, must it be a younger person?
I get you.
And I will say no. And my reason is because the younger people we have today, what is their ideology? Okay, you just spoke about, we remember what happened recently in 2019, yes. When we were talking about the youth, and they came, like you said, everybody wanted to be president. Now, you now even say, okay, fine, all of you come together and present one, so that maybe everybody will go for that one. What happened? They could not come to an agreement. Everybody wanted to be president.
Everybody wanted the apex position.
No, and I am saying, you that want to be a president, your political party, has it presented a councillor in one world?
No.
No. So what is the structure? What have you done grassroots wise? You don't just wake up and say, I want to be president. And that is why you see all these people, the same person that have been there, minister of something, whatever, from one senate to whatever. Okay, you saw Oga Barry. At some point, he was actually head of state, military dictator at some point. And don't forget, aside from that, he was minister at some point. Aside from that, he was governor at some point. Like that, you can see. Now, so he's been in the system. The same way with some of those people, like to look at number of governors, look at number of whatever that they are picking for election next year. Some of them have been in. So these people have structures. So the question is, what have we done? Have we joined political parties? Number of us no. As we speak, a lot of us don't even have voters card, and we are talking about
Actually,
youth.
we think we don't.
And thank you. And when they even get it, to them, some of them get it for different obvious reasons, not even for election, not because they want to
ID card.
National ID card. So there are different reasons. You see our people doing their things. Some, in fact, the average ones are out of the country. The ones that are supposed to be the average, they're living every day. Nobody cares about what happens to then. The next thing, we go on social media, we make noise. We don't have leaders. Oh, our leaders are this, our leaders are that. What have we done to take over from those people? The other time, they said they were forming one, whatever. I was on the platform, I was watching proceedings, and I asked, you people want to, is this the way you go about it? So there are a lot of things with us, a lot is wrong with us. Now, if we have not put our house in order, how do we take over from these people?
How do we take over? If it's a good question for young people to respond to this morning. If we have not put our house in order, how do we take over from the people? It's a rhetorical question. It's something I'd like you all to think about and dwell on very well as we go to our next topic, because one day you're going to have to answer me back and tell me exactly how Nigerian youths are ready to take over the affairs of the country. All right, this one is interesting also. It comes with IPOB bans Nigerian anthem in Southeast schools and the use of cows at ceremonies. Is that legal?
You see, these are the issues we are still talking about. It still comes back to, it's tied to the first part. Who is IPOB?
IPOB is a group.
A group of who?
People that were proscribed, Nigerians, and then the government has proscribed the group.
The group. And they were called names. Now, I'm going somewhere. 80% of these groups are who? 80% of this group.
Do we know the members?
Well, no, from what we see. From what we see. Because you're not going to find an older person doing what they are doing.
True.
It's the youth that has the energy, that has all that. Yes, they may have the older ones behind them, backing them. Because I have said that severally. What we are seeing today is as a result of some people sponsoring them. So who is sponsoring, I do not know.
But you agree?
Yes.
With the presidency? With the president, that they are being sponsored.
Look.
And Ojuni.
Look. Boko Haram being sponsored. Bandits, all these people are being sponsored. If we have to go that route.
True.
So when you find any group There's no group that you won't find some people behind them, but you're not going to see them. They are not the one in front. You're not going to see
They're
them.
not the face, they're not the voice, but they're the finance.
Yes, that this is what we want. At some point, the governors were quiet. And when did they? At what point did they come out to say no to this, no to that? Now, you see what they don't understand is this. What IPOD don't understand is this. When you say no national anthem
in Southeast schools,
when you say that, you see these are the challenges. That's not the route to go, because as far as we are concerned, in fact, your leaders have not come to say we are no longer Nigerians. You are still Nigerians, and if you are,
majority of the residents of those states have also not said they are not Nigerians.
So, and if you, because it's still, we still have a constitution, and there's nowhere that it's been declared that this session will go on unless we are sitting or we are looking into. That is number one. Number two, the one I really want to speak about is the meat part of it. That no killing
no use of cow.
At
ceremonies.
When you say no use of cow at ceremony, now 2 questions. Do you have enough local breeds of the cows?
No, but the question is cow not a general business? Are there no Southeasterners who own ranches and do the business?
Hold on, I'm going somewhere. And I'm going to ask 2 questions. And the first one is, the cow we are talking about, if you want to say, okay, please don't bring this to my state.
They said no use of Fulani cows.
Oh, good. Do you have enough to go around your people? 2, who are the people doing the business? And who, apparently, if you go to the east now, if you go to the market, I doubt if it's Fulani that is selling meat.
True.
Maybe you'll find they bring it the same way here. When they bring this meat, have you seen Fulani selling meat at the meat market? Are they not the Southwest people that are selling? But who brings in this cow? It comes from the north, but they buy here and they kill and they sell. And I want to believe that the same thing, because I was there in the east, and I want to believe I was at the market, and I want to believe that the same thing applies. Now, when you stop that, it affects the economy of that zone. When you stop that, it affects the people, your people.
But they are stopping work on Monday, stopping students from going to school on Monday. All of that affected the community.
We have said that over time. We have said that over time that, look, some of these things, we are even talking about the economy that is dead, that we don't even know that it exists. They're just giving us all those abracadabra English grammar about economy and all that. For me, you can't tell me anything about it, because the question I'm going to ask, how does it reflect on an average Nigeria? So don't let us even go there. Now, when we are still in this mess, then you want to then bring so much hardship. You can't, because do you know how much they lose every Monday that people don't go out? Every Monday, do you know how much goes into that? So the route they're going about this whole thing, I think I have a problem with it. I'm not saying they should not, because if there's even in a house, and some people are not being treated equally like every other person, they will raise issues. You will call them rebel, you call them all sort of names, because they will tell you no. That's why you see them, you call them rebels. They don't listen to you. Why? Because you give some people more preferential treatment than the others. So when these things happen, no doubt you will get. That's how Igbo and the rest of them get you. So you will get all that, no doubt about it. But then, if you want this to go, there are better ways.
But isn't there an intellectual way?
Not putting hardship on your people.
But Ohanaeze is there as one of the foremost, groups in the Southeast. We've not had conversations where IPOB and Ohanaeze sat down to hold this. After all, the man who released this Directive is the head of Directorate of the State, Enugu, Chika Edozie. He made the announcement in Enugu yesterday. He has a name. Yeah. Obviously, an office. Obviously, a place where it could be met by Southeastern leaders. Are these matters not discussed? Because I want to quote him a little bit. Now, IPOB said a new department known as Education Department would be created, adding that the department will be responsible for teaching Igbo history in primary and secondary schools. Saying all IPOB families, who are IPOB families, are directed to activate the earlier instruction passed to them. They shall embark on worldwide protests in cities and capitals around the world. Beginning from Monday, January 3rd, no more Nigerian national anthem in all the schools in Biafra land.
Thank you.
Our children must no longer be reminded daily that they are under oppression by singing the national anthem of the oppressor. There are about 3 books that will be published this new year in furtherance of this, after the head of this department is made public. Biafran writers will be called upon to write books and educational materials to be published for our children in primary and secondary schools. I mean, isn't this a conversation going too far?
I just feel that some people are not doing what they're supposed to do. These people have leaders. They have governors. Now, the governors, every time they come to the central post to get money, and they go back to their states. And this is happening. And you're talking about IPOD. And IPOD is saying the East belongs to Biafra. And that this and that is not allowed in here.
Is it
and
not
you
possible?
have governors that have not said, we are not Nigerians. You have the House of Assembly members that have not passed any law or now transmit the same to the Federal National Assembly to say, okay, we want to go.
And you also have House of Rep members and
Thank
senators.
you. And in the same National Assembly. And nobody has agreed with you to say we are Biafra and that we are not part of Nigerians and this and that. Yet, a group of people somewhere are issuing directive in the same zone, and they have people there also in that same zone that are supposed to be called leaders, and they still live on this part of the the country, and yet they are not doing anything. In fact, one of them conceded by saying that they should start school on Saturday because of the Monday whatever. So Saturday we
to accommodate
the
drama that is
So
ensuing.
you can see that it's either they know what they are doing, or some people are trying to play smart, and some people are trying to fool some people. You see, there are so many.
And why then are we still
this.
talking about Igbo presidency because I think this is a conversation that is escalating. Or Aneze Igbo, all respect to them, are still talking consistently. They're very consistent in their demand. There must be Igbo presidency in 2023. That's what they are clamoring for. Maybe they think the clamoring for that will put an end to this
Unfortunately, if your house is like this and you don't have control over your house, then you want to be president. You think somebody will allow that?
Okay. That's a good question.
You see, this thing is not rocket science. If your house is like this and you can't do anything about it, then what you are eyeing, let's say your house, you have a family and your house is scattered, your children are messing around everywhere, is no order and all that. And
it's of public knowledge.
Thank you. Then you now say you want to come out and be leader somewhere. Wouldn't they ask you?
Community leader.
How? So all these things is intertwined. So they need to put their house in order before they can even talk about, presidency ticket. Because as we can see, there's so much going on there. And back to the Meads thing. Look, I don't see that happening, and I don't see it working. Maybe the one that could work, if
No,
IPOD had said,
they said Fulani cows.
hold on, the one that could work is if
I
they had
don't
said
get
that,
to write names
if they had, thank you, if they had said that, okay, maybe henceforth in this zone, anyone that wants to get married, you know, they used to ask for 10 cows and all those
Should
things.
no longer ask for cows.
No, they will ask them, they will not say, they may not say not cow, but they will then say their own local. It must not be from the Fulani, whatever cows. Maybe,
It just means cow.
maybe from there, gradually. But you
Do you know
cannot
how
just
many?
say,
Do you know how many? Do you know how many cows we killed for in Oba the other day?
oh,
Do you know how many cows we killed in
thank
Oba? When they said
you.
so.
That's the reason why I asked.
Please,
You know,
so-
I asked when I started by, the
Do you know how
question
many cows
was,
we killed in Oba?
the question of do they have enough local
Please, so-
animals,
We
whatever
have
is
a
it,
ranch
cow
in
or
Oba.
whatever they call
We
it.
still have a ranch in Oba. Please, please.
They brought those things to them. It was Fulani
Doesn't
cows.
matter to
They
us.
use in
It is
Oba.
cow. Cow is cow. Cow is Nigerian cow.
Is the but they are
I
saying they
don't
don't
know what
want.
you're talking about. It's Nigerian cow.
They say they don't want. Maybe they will import. You know, China, they can bring cows from China. They can bring from Spain. They can
No, they
bring
will
from.
collect Yoruba cow.
I know they will bring
collect
from
reverse
the
cow.
Western world.
Delta cow. Yoruba cow. This one that we're already naming cow after a tribe. I mean,
It's sad, it's
what
sad.
exactly are we talking
sad.
about? It's
Like I told you
2023.
that we have cows in my place.
Yes.
And I mean, we have one Fulani man that is
Rearing cows.
rearing cows, but it's our cow.
It's your cow.
Our cows, so, but
So I don't understand.
I don't understand.
This one that we have cow that has name and has title and has tribe. So apart from Nigerians having names now and title,
See,
cows now also have
but I think
origin.
if our leaders do the right thing, we won't get all these vibes.
But it all comes back to the conversation because what kind of feelers do you feel that, okay, let me say what kind of feelers are you getting? Because if the presidency, now an intentional presidency, will respond to this, what do you think will happen? Just as, don't forget, Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, is naming sponsors of terror. And don't forget that this is part of what they term terrorism.
They've stopped people going to school every Monday. What has federal government done? Your presidency.
Our presidency.
No, me, I don't know anything about president because Constitution didn't tell me anything about presidency.
Okay, you have
I
president.
only know president and his cabinet. Then if a cabal call themselves presidency, I don't know about that.
Okay, you see a couple.
So I don't know. But the question asks, so what have they done so far? So all these things, yeah, I think we are just sitting on a bomb, a serious one, heavy one, and I hope that we will detonate it before the thing explodes. I hope so.
We need to discern all these bombs that are being planted in terms of conversations that preach disunity across board. I know quite a number of people will want to talk about this and to talk about the marginalization of the Easterners and all that, but it's not a conversation for the phone call this morning. Send your text message and WhatsApp, just as it is written on the screen. We will definitely take those messages. Now, talking about terrorism, I did say that the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, is naming terrorists and sponsors, rather, of terrorism. But Ali Ndume, the senator, has been consistent in his demand that the federal government does not pay lip service to the idea of naming sponsors of terror. He said, name, prosecute the sponsors of terrorism. Now, this was one conversation that we had in 2021. Who are the sponsors? The federal government said they know. They even alleged that a member of the National Assembly is one of them. And I remember that the House of Reps were quick to respond and say, name the member among us who is a sponsor of terrorism. The federal government is yet to do that.
Let's clear that. The federal government didn't name sponsor of terrorism.
No, they said they will.
Hold on. They told us that they have over 400 names.
I told them to
And
make it
we've been
public.
asking. They never mentioned anything. Until when the Sunday Igboho matter came up. That was when Mr. President came to tell us that a member of National Assembly was the sponsor. I'm sure you're following what I'm saying.
Yes, I am.
A member of National, that was when after, before Sunday Igboho, nobody, they just told us we have names of sponsors. And in fact, I remember, I think Falana went to court.
Yes.
To say, should you bring out the list?
And let us see.
Till tomorrow.
We're here to see.
And they've been giving us different reasons why the list, they cannot print out the list, why it cannot be available to us, it will cost this, it will cost that. Then shut up.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking. You can't come and give me leaves so that you want me to know you're working. You claim, yes, you claim you have names.
Okay, if you can't publish it, then can't you prosecute?
Outside your country, by another country, number of sponsors.
Made it public.
Made it public. They are being prosecuted.
Them.
Yet, you have not even released a list, and nobody, not one of them, is not being prosecuted. And you're telling me you have list of sponsors.
Maybe it was a speculation.
Wow. So,
It's you that said
what
it.
do we say? I didn't say that.
I just
They said that. Their body language, everything about them is telling us maybe it was speculations, not, they don't really
Not
have,
it's-
they just, sometimes when the country is burning or boiling, they'll just come and drop one, okay, just to cool the tension. No, voila. I don't want fight, I don't want a war, I don't want a country to be hot. Yes, I want it to be cool. But then, please, do the needful. Nobody is more Nigerian than any other person. Until when these people realize that it's an opportunity, it's a privilege that they are in the position they are. Any other person in Nigeria can be where they are. But the moment they get there, everything changes. They become the almighty. Okay, a typical example is of my friend, my senior friend. The former, he's now AIG, though he's been promoted to AIG, Commissioner of Police.
Yes.
You went to a private estate. You're not Mr. President, for goodness sake. Even if you're Mr. President, there are protocols.
please. So
You went to a private estate. Sorry? He's not.
he lives in the other one.
He lives at Ogudu.
Is he not our commissioner of police?
Commissioner of Police Odumosu, Akim Odumosu.
He used to
He
be my neighbor.
lives at Ogudu. He went to Brooks in Magodo. Yes, they are claiming it's an official whatever. Even if now you got to the gate of the estate, I know Brooks and I know what they do.
I got a problem.
When you get there, you made it in my estate. When you call to my estate, you will make calls to wherever you're coming to. So the person will then call the security. We don't even allow that. You make calls and you now give the phone.
We call. There is
You
a
will
number.
call. Then the person that you are coming will then call the security before you are allowed in. Whether you are commissioner of police or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
You see,
It's the protocol.
you are serving us. These people, once they become, they are supposed to be serving, but they become the oga. We are the subjects now, and they become the king. Hey, the old oligarchies in the days of kings and all that. So that is what we still see. So that culture in us. That is why
Still there.
I've said it over time that democracy, we don't know the meaning of democracy, and it is not working.
I think we should readopt.
We should make it mediocrity. Then it is mediocrity now. Is it not the social oligarchy? It's just a number of people in this, their whatever. It's just mediocrity. So they come. You want to show us that you are the king, we are the subject. Then leave democracy alone. Then what he missed, what Odumosu missed, was painting the police the way people call them. What he should have done was to say that yes, we are police, but we obey the rules of law. we are respecter of law. You have gone to the gate, call the person. They say, meanwhile, even if you're in official capacity, because I think he was wearing mufti, he's still wearing in his convoy and all that, and you go there and they stop you. Sorry, sir, please call. You know me, and you know we're very good at that. Do you know who I am? You don't have to know who you are. Respect yourself and do the needful.
But the police should be able to. Maybe it was there on official assignment.
Well, it wasn't. It was going for maybe one party there inside the estate. But the police came. The spokesperson claimed that it was going for an official. Even if you are going for an official assignment, then if you're commissioner of police, you are going for an official assignment. There'll be a protocol. The estate will know. That, okay, you're coming for an official assignment. They will have even inside. They will leave the gate open for you.
What if it was an underground investigation?
With his convoy.
What if it's an underground
commissioner with his convoy? So, the commissioner of police.
Be an underground investigation.
He would have
and
saved,
it was just
he would have saved the world by just picking it. It's like, what's his name? Prime Minister Boris.
Yes.
In UK. You would not even see that convoy. Now he will go. The same man that will go to mall, that will go to all those small supermarkets and whatever. So he will, please pick your phone and call this person that you want to see. Let them call you. Okay, is our visitor is coming in. Check it out. Then what did you do? You arrested those people, the guards that are doing their own job.
That they employ
and you are supposed to be a police officer. That are supposed to be an enforcer of the law. You know, now arrested them, locked the gate, locked the estate, shut down the estate, and no. You see, until
I don't understand
that is the commissioner of police.
Yes.
Now, what will then the minister do? What will then the IG?
Let's take a quick break. We want to talk about our community report. We're focusing on two things this morning: the conduct of LASMA and Ikporo Ake, particularly in Abeokuta. That's what we're focusing on after this very quick break.
Oh baby girl, show my bami dele. I want to marry you, no be play. Oh baby girl, come follow me home, mama minduro. Won't fake mama jo. Oh baby girl, come be my lover. I wanna care for you yet forever. Oh baby girl, you are my sugar banana, pretty nana, baby. Oh, back for me, I will sing for you. Do re mi so me. I will love you longer than the family. I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh, back for me. I will sing for you. Do re mi so me. I will love you longer than the family. I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh, back for me. You want it come so new. Always on my mind, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. You want it come so new. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby girl, come give me children. Whether na boys or girls, I don't care. I know they'll make a lot of sense. I can place all of my bet on it. Let me love you, sell and sell, baby. My tomato just. You are the one I've been looking for. You are the one that makes my world so beautiful. Let me be your full baby, oh. I will sing for you. I will love you longer than I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh. I will sing for you. I will love you longer than I will care for you more than care me. Baby, oh. You want nìkan ṣoṣo ni o. Always on my mind. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Ìwọ nìkan ṣoṣo ni o. Always on my mind. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Baby, please come marry me. I wanna take you to mommy, me. Take me to your family. Oh, baby, oh. I beg you, I am on my knees. Oh, baby girl, just take this ring. Oh, yes, I'm proposing. Oh, baby, oh. I love you till we gray and old. Forever I will be your own. You are my heart, you have a stolen. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh, yeah. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh. Oh, baby, oh.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. All right, Community Report is here and we're discussing two issues. The conduct of LASMA is one. A story made the front page of the papers that attracted my attention to this. LASMA thugs brutalize a driver and apparently impounds the boss, and they ignore the victim's petition. Now, the driver's name, Olasukomi Adejari, has accused LASMA officials of using thugs to impound his vehicle in the Oshodi part of Lagos. The 44-year-old said he was on his way back to Lagos Island when he was accosted by three hoodlums allegedly working for LASMA around the Oshodi area when he parked his vehicle for a friend to alight. Now, the driver said the men demanded the key of his vehicle. When he refused to give it, they beat him up. The interesting part about the story and what attracted me to it is the fact that I've experienced it before. LASMA officials are employees of the Lagos State government. Interestingly, they operate with certain boys who do not wear the LASMA uniform. They have this thing they wear. They carry this barricade about, you know. They're the ones sometimes who help them to quickly put you know, that thing they used to stop your vehicle for whatever reasons, and they have all of these rules. These boys then come to you, demand for your, it's like their staff, unofficial staff of LASMA. Unfortunately, they were picked from the streets, so their conduct is a bit more crude and all that. Is it something of public knowledge? Yes. Is this something the LASMA GM should know about?
Yes, you should know about it. You should know about it because why LASMA would do that is because LASMA knows that something they should not do. Yes, they know that the law does not allow them to do some things. Probably after so much noise and all that, they've been schooled and part of the training they've told them. But they still want to get something.
Oh,
so now,
is it something?
Yes, is there something? So they now have to use thugs to achieve their aim, their goal. They have to use thugs because if they're using thugs, they are not in uniform. So even if anybody is making any noise and you want to take any pictures or you want to put them on videos, it's the thugs you'll be seeing.
Okay.
Right? So the LASMA will be there. So if there's anything or the report is made to their boss and whatever, they will deny. And seriously, they will deny because the truth is, can you prove it? Did any LASMA harass you? Did any LASMA put something on your car? That is the question. So, and if you can't prove that, so what do you do? So it's not only LASMA, even the police, they do that. They use all these thugs because they know the comfort of, they know the position of the law.
Police.
During the lockdown, I experienced one. when they gave us time to do something to that people can go to market, buy whatever. And at that point, I think we were all coming. I went to get food stuff too. And we were coming, and at a particular junction, they put barricade there. It wasn't 2. So all of us were coming. So they were stopping cars. I'm like, come. Okay, maybe you asked. And then there was a particular one, they stopped the guy. And the guy, probably you were asking for his ID card. It wasn't 2. He was telling them, I heard him telling them. So I saw that. I was mute. But they pull him over. I now decide to stop because I know that.
They're going to harass him.
But what happened? The police didn't go there. Immediately, those thugs came from nowhere, told the guy to come down. They took the rough handle the guy, took the key from the guy. In fact, they even carried the guy. They put the guy inside they had these truck they used in, they put the guy inside the truck. And I told them, this is wrong. You can't be doing. Then they came, of course, they didn't know who I was. Of course, I didn't disclose my identity at that point. So they were arguing with me. I said, this is wrong. Look at your time. This guy has shown you his ID card. He has told you what he went to. Have you check if is it lying then? But if he's not lying, if there are food in this car, so why are you doing this? Please, this whole country is tense already. So let's do something with discretion and moderation and all that. That was the advice. So the next thing they came for me the Alga is calling me. It was when I went to the Alga, by the time I disclosed my identity, everything was resolved. The guy left and all that. But what I'm saying in essence, they still use talk. And I was telling those talk, I said, look, this area, this guy, this so-called police that they are using you today, they will leave. And you guys will come back to us. Because this is our area. You will come back to these people and you are still going to beg these people for money. But because police is using you now, now it's sad. And that is the system we find ourselves, where the police or the last man or all those officials then use tout to perpetrate evil because they know that the Lord does not allow them to do something. So now using those tout, and now these are the people on the streets that are not trained, that don't even know how to engage people in a civil way, and all. So they have altercation or they have issues. Even some of them fight with Nigerians. So it's sad. It's sad. So
this person is alleging.
GM should know. Yes, he should know.
This person is alleging. He said one of the issues of LASTMA's conduct is that it has become a norm in Nigeria. Citizens also encourage the officers to continue the action. We all want to cut corners. We don't want the LASTMA to delay us because of our trip. Else we resort to begging them whenever we kick against the law and ready to part away with any amount. And this emboldens them to misbehave. Adedayo, what's the name again? Yeah, Lanre Adebayo has sent that one in. All right, we're still talking about a community report, and you have a comment, you can call us. But right before we do that, there is a video I'd like to show you, and I'll tell you exactly what you're looking at when you're watching it. Now, this video is from Ogun State. And we'd like to call on Governor Dapo Abiodun. This is part of the Ake community in Abeokuta. This video was sent to me by one of the residents, and the location is Ikpuru Ake, the Sawmill Bypass Road leading to CAC Primary School, Lantoro, Abeokuta. First of all, let me address this. The citizens themselves, this road tore off, and you guys decided to make it into a dump site, pouring all of your refuse from your houses into that portion of the road that was broken. This is totally irresponsible. It's not responsible behavior. After all, Abeokuta has, Ogun State has their own version of Loma. I think it's called Ogoma. They're supposed to pack your refuse and all of that. But you pour refuse into the portion of road. There is another one, a longer version. You get to see the sawmill where this road is broken down as well. The people of that community can barely drive through 2 cars at a time. It's 1 car at a time, and it's a disaster waiting to happen if that road continues to look like that. So we'd like to call on Governor Dapo Abiodun. I'd like you to see the video and see exactly what it looks like. But when the road is broken down, You know, the people sent me the name of the local government chairman, that we should call on the local government chairman and ask him to please, that's Abeokuta South, it's under Abeokuta South local government, ask him to please go do something about it. What can the local government chairman do about a road like this?
Yeah, don't forget that, yes, well, we've been asking for autonomy of the local government, whatever, but the way it is, there are roads that are local government roads, there are roads that are state road, there are roads that are federal road. Now, so where does that road falls in? Is it a local government road? Is it a state road? You know, we need to establish that first. Then, having done that, then if it's a state road, then the government of the states should know what to do and they should fix the road. And if it is a local government, even if the local government can't afford it, it can still relate with the state government to say, okay, because look, the local government is the closest to the people. So if this is an issue, there's a problem here, I think there's no reason why it cannot approach the state government to say, okay, we have a major problem here, we can fix. Then it can. Then again, I say this: everybody thinks it's about government.
You see, half of the road is gone.
Gone. Everybody thinks, okay, look at what our people are doing. Everybody thinks it's about government alone. And I always say this: we are the people. We are the problems. Look at where people were dumping refuse. Because the road is broken. Then,
and then you pour refuse into it.
Then you suddenly turn that place to a dump site. This is, see, we don't need any government officials to tell us to do the right thing. We know the right thing. Okay, what will that do to that community? Then cholera, outburst of cholera, and the rest of them happens. Then the next thing they go, the government. We the people, we need to do the right thing. They don't need to, nobody need to tell us this is, we know it. This is wrong. So yes, government will take their share. Then we should also take our share.
We should do the right thing.
We should do the right thing. We should do the right thing. Even everywhere, we should do the right thing as a people. Let's do our part.
And this is not a hidden place in Abeokuta.
Wow.
Ake is popular.
Yeah, I know Ake. Oh, this is sad. This is sad.
This is half of the road.
They will allow this to deteriorate to this extent. You see,
this is half of the road.
We don't have responsible government. We don't have our government they are not accountable to us, and we don't even hold them accountable. Because if we do, look at it. Next year now, this year, we read last year how they're going to bring in. Increase the revenue tax everywhere and all that, and it's good to
fuel price,
more suffering on people.
For the people.
Look at this, and people are in that place. People are living there, and people cannot move with their vehicles because I can see that road even caving further down.
Deteriorating in the next one. If a little bit of extra rain and that road deteriorates further. This one says, okay. You need to come to, there are many of such roads in Ado-Oduota. You need to come and check Lafenwa-Itele road that leads to Ayobo. The one that you show from Ake is better than the ones here in the commercial city of the state. All right? He said, okay, this person said, the CDC should be responsible. Even the Bale is there. What is the role of the traditional rulers? Government won't be the one to sweep our houses. All right? We would like you, we have the road from, coincidentally, our community report on Thursday is focusing on that Itele Ayetoro access of the road. So if you are coming from Lafenwa-Itele as well, you can do a video of the road and send to us on the same number on the screen, and we definitely will call on the Ogun State government to come do something about it. There, MITV, I don't understand the difference between presidency and cabal, that you only know the president and his cabinet. The president was elected.
Let me quickly say that. Sorry, we've gone with the time is fast spent. Look, I said it. No provision in the constitution that made provision for presidency. We know we have president and we have cabinet, and that is where we have the ministers or the secretary, all that are inclusive of the cabinet of the. So when we started hearing presidency, we do not know where that came from. I'm sure it came from somewhere. The presidency they are talking about. That's why some of us are saying maybe there are some cabal that started calling themselves presidency. I don't know what presidency is. All I know is President, the office of the president, of the vice president and the cabinet, the ministers. That's all. Thank you
so much, Olaikola Daniels, the constitutional lawyer, for joining us this morning on the Bumper Breakfast. All right, that's where we'll draw the curtain. We'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early. Have a beautiful day.